Hello YouTube, my second EP, Big Parade, comes out tomorrow. What? I'm so excited. I can't believe the day's finally here. This has been my whole life for the last year and it finally is coming out. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with myself after this is done. But until then, let's post incessantly about all the tracks that I spent so long working on. Been struggling to work out what kinds of videos to make. Obviously last year I did 2 videos about making my EP. One was about the production and the musical side of things, and then the other one about promotion and all of that. The difference this time is that I didn't produce this myself. So I don't know if there's so much that I can say, and I also can't show you the track stems and all the bits and bobs. So I don't know if it'll be as interesting, but perhaps you want to hear about the process anyway, because we spent the most glorious 3 days in an Airbnb in Kent together recording this record, and it was just so delightful. I'm releasing a music video for the final song on the record, which is going to be a big compilation of all those clips that we took when we were doing the recording. But do let me know if you have questions about the process, because I really want to be transparent about it and just tell you what happened, and I think it's good for us all to learn from each other and talk about how we are making our music. Before then though, today I'm going to take you through each of the tracks one by one and talk about how I wrote them and how we made them and the thoughts behind them. So please enjoy my breakdown of my second EP, Big Parade.
I hate the smell of the inside of a taxi.
A lot of the songs that are in this record were written in the year after I graduated and came back home, and so much shit happened. I was really struggling with being back in London, really struggling to get a job. There were times where I was trying to go into the corporate world, times where I was trying to go into theatre, times where I was trying to go into teaching. Listen, it was a mess. And crucially, I felt very, very lonely because none of my home friends were here and all of my uni friends lived miles away on the other side of the river, and I was spending so much time and so much money on public transport. That's where the first song on the EP came from, which is Jubilee Lines. I literally did write this on a train on the way home one day. I don't remember where I was coming from, but I had it in my notes app. I was just so fed up, and it was a bit of a jokey one. I've said before that I write so many songs all the time, and I'm constantly writing silly ideas that don't make sense. But I turned this into a full song, posted it on TikTok, and it had a pretty good response. So I started playing it live. People really liked it. I think because it's a very relatable feeling. We all have this in London. We love this city so much, but it also sometimes feels like wading through shit. And I really wanted to start the EP with this because it's a scene setter. I'm a musical theatre girl at heart, and I wanted a song that was welcome to the place where we are, and London is the place where we are. A big theme in the recording process this time was actually me and Peter, my producer, realizing that we did not need to add very much to these performances. We really wanted to capture how I play these songs live in the recordings, which is why there's no metronome. I'm playing the guitar and singing at the same time. Every song was recorded in one take, other than 2, which I'll tell you about later. And then we just added all the instruments on top. And initially I thought for Jubilee Lines, we're going to have harmony after harmony. You know, I love my harmonies. But I distinctly remember on that last day that we were scheduled in to record all the harmonies, listening to the songs and being fuck, we just love this as it is. We don't need to add anything. And that's definitely the feeling we had with Jubilee Lines. But I did know that I wanted train sounds in the background, and I'd recorded a journey of mine on the Northern Line to London Bridge. And so I sent this recording off to Peter and he put it in the background of the song. I thought it was just going to be an intro at the start. But he was like, Jas, hear me out. What do you think about the train noises going on for the whole thing? It was kind of fated that this recording that I had of the tube fit so well in with the song, even down to some of the announcements and the beeping of the doors opening. I remember listening to it and being is this in key? What's going on? It's a common theme really of the recording process of this whole thing that I just felt as though we wanted to take away. I think in my life before, I've really wanted to add things, and I love adding things. I always will. I'm a harmonies girl forever. The times we spent recording was so special. It felt really wrong to paint over what we had in those moments in a way.
Accidentally kissed back accidentally fell flat, accidentally
Accidentally was one of those songs that I knew as soon as I wrote it, like, this is a banger. And it was also the song that I wrote, the last song I wrote, I think, out of all of them. I sent it to Peter with my demos like a few days after I had written it, and I really knew I wanted like a happy, lovey, kind of sexy song. And it was between this and another song, which I've actually, my patrons will know this demo called TV, which sounds like this.
me hungry.
Which is also a happy, sexy, lovey song. In the end, I went for Accidentally because it was newer, so I found it more exciting. And let me just be real with you for that one. The way that we recorded all the vocals is on the first night we got to this Airbnb, we waited until it was like 10 p.m, so it was really nice and quiet. Pete had set up all his equipment in the living room, and he made me just play each song again and again for like half an hour, and then he'd be like, that's it, you must stop. And I'd be like, okay. I think I'm a huge proponent for like not being a perfectionist with your vocals. I've had the most amazing experiences this year performing live for people, and I think what makes those experiences so amazing is I never come home and I'm like, oh, I was a bit flat on that note, or like there was a voice crack, or I didn't sing that exactly right. It's the connection and the storytelling and the song as a whole. And so recording in this way literally was perfect for me. I think it just made me realize, like, you don't have to do everything in the way that the lads of production tell you must. You don't need to lay down your track. You don't need to comp your vocals in and out. Like, we had the best time doing this because it suited me so well, and that's why I think I'm so happy with the recordings. Like, thank you, Pete. We all scream. Once the half an hour of recording that song was done, that was it. And I was not allowed to listen till the following day. So the next day we listened through Accidentally, and we're trying to figure out which one's the best. In the end, I think we ended up splicing 2 of the takes together. Couldn't tell you where one take ends and one begins. I've got no idea, and that's down to hiring someone else to do the difficult jobs for you. Thank you, Pete, once again, we say. My lovely friend Rob MacLennan, who I met at 10-piece funk band at uni, was my drummer for this project, and I love him to bits, and he added all the drums on top. Let me tell you something, Mr. Rob was not very happy about having to drum along to a recording of a person who basically has no sense of inner metronome in any way at all. Thankfully, he managed to do it, and I know it's no mean feat, but I really wanted to record in this way, and I think it adds so much to the song. It means my performance was so like uninhibited, and I didn't want to be performing thinking, oh, am I in time? I just wanted to be performing thinking, am I telling this story how I wanted to be told? So I was very happy with that. Afterwards, we added some harmonies, a few extra guitar layers, and also bass, which the lovely Jack Cookson did for us remotely. And then pretty much the song was done. It's a simple one. Accidentally, I knew was going to be the first single because whenever I play it live, people were like, I really like that song. It's so poppy and catchy, and it works so well on TikToks. And that's been my biggest win of the year, it has to be said. The night that Accidentally came out, I made the stupidest video of me dancing to it on a TikTok, and people went crazy for it, and it just bang, like the song did well. I don't know, this world is so random and can be so disheartening sometimes when things don't work out, as they usually don't when it comes to music promotion, but in this instance, some reason it did work out. I'm so unbelievably happy with it, and I think I'm so happy with that song. I know it's poppy and fun and silly, but it was the perfect first single, and I think it sums up the vibe of the record so well, which is just like silliness and fun.
I push until I break, and love's a ticking.
Next up was Drunk, which was our absolute favourite song to record. We loved this one. Spotify did not love it, alright? Let's talk about it. I wrote Drunk after a breakup, and it's all about those moments where you feel like you really can't say how you feel at all. And then I would come home and just sing thousands and hundreds and millions of songs and write them so easily, and that frustration of like being able to express yourself when you're on your own versus when you're with other people was really getting to me. So I wrote Drunk. I wrote it the day after I had learnt to play Doomsday by Lizzie McAlpine on guitar, and it's the first song I've ever written on guitar as well. I think you can really tell because that flat third chord, which I love so much, is very much stolen from that Liz McAlpine song, No Regrets. We recorded it in the exact same way. Pete convinced me to add a cello, and I'm so happy I spent the money on a cello. It sounds so good. Are you joking? Again, no harmonies needed. I think this is like one of the vocal performances I'm probably most proud of in the world. It was just so magical, and I love this song. Of course, as I said, TikTok wasn't such a fan. I was like, have I done everything wrong? This was the song we loved the most, and nobody really listened to it, and it just felt so sad. You know, maybe this shouldn't have been a single. Maybe I shouldn't have even put it on the record. Like, what have I done? But it's one of those things, isn't it? We get over it, we move on. It's all okay.
Pour me a drink and I'll be well.
If Jubilee Lines is opening of Act 1, then Ninth Pin is very much opening of Act 2. I went to a ceilidh for my friend's birthday, and we learnt this dance called the Ninth Pin, which is essentially where there are 9 people in each group, and after each set of the dance, you each pair off into 2, and one person is just left on their own, stood like an awkward little lemon in the middle of the group. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever and so inspiring, and I came home and wrote a song about it. This is also during a time where I was feeling very jobless and very left out from all my friends who had left university and like gone to do all these schemes and masters and plans. And so I wrote this silly little song about that feeling of sort of being the 9th pin. Again, I posted it on TikTok and people really liked it. And honestly, like, had I not done that, it wouldn't be on the EP, which maybe is a lesson to me now. Like, post your ideas to kind of see how they float, you know? Like, people really connected with it, and that's kind of the reason I started playing it live, and that's the reason I put it on the EP. And I really love this song. It's the only song that's like a bit minor. It also has a key change in the choruses. Like, I even now I think, how did I come up with that? She's clever. Thank God I've got that music degree. Ninth Pin originally had a middle 8 in it that I used to always cut when I was playing live. I don't know if other musicians have this, but like sometimes I'm playing live and I just get sick of what I'm saying and I just stop early. And I think if I'm getting that feeling playing live, then people listening to it are going to get that feeling. And here's the thing, your song does not need to have verse, chorus, middle 8, chorus. Do you know what I mean? Let's move on. We don't need it. Just get rid. If it doesn't feel good, get rid. So I did. And I really like how this is just like a 2-minute kind of interlude, silly little tune that we've got in the middle of everything else. For the production, again, I sang it all in one go, and then we added some stuff on top. Keys, harmonies, and we knew it needed something else which could kind of reflect the like corporate grey, twinkly crinkliness that is in the song. I don't want to do that. Is that why you keep moving it away?
Well, moving it around to get a bit of sound.
Yeah. And so Peter like took this microphone and started swinging it about, and I could hear it in my headphones. We ended up using this feedback in the song, which is what it starts with, that funny little noise. Peter went and EQ'd it so it was like in tune with the song. Once again, thank you, Peter. It's so cool. And that's Ninth Pin.
Nothing in my pocket to console or diffuse. I was blind until I saw it coming.
We have made it to the big moment for me of the EP. My favourite song on the record. I don't know if it's my favourite song just because it's kind of the underdog, or because it's actually my favourite song. I just think this is the best song I've ever written. I love it so much, and that's Sweet Memorial. This was about the same breakup from Drunk. I got broken up with at the end of November, so then it was Christmas, and I just basically got really drunk for 3 months. The weirdest feeling during a breakup is that world just keeps on going. Everyone just cracks on, and especially because it was festive, I remember being like, guys, does anyone care that I got my heart broken? You still go out with your friends, you still see your family, you know, you still go to work. This is a song a little bit about just like wishing everyone gave you a bit more sympathy and just asking like, where is the big parade? Well, mama, here it is in the form of the EP, out 14th of November 2025. This was another track that we expected to add tons and tons of harmonies to, and obviously didn't add a single one. It was probably my favourite moment of the whole recording, was like listening to these recordings and listening to myself sing and be like, I love how I sound. And a lot of that is down to Pete. Thank you, Pete, we say once again. I've always felt the need to kind of like cover things up with loads of harmonies and sort of impress with loads of vocal layers. And I still pride myself on that. I still love doing that as well. It's just something I find really fun. But something that I loved doing when we made this record was just letting the songs speak for themselves. And I think this is like my favorite example of that. I think there are literally like 3 bits of harmony in this, and it's just one of me. Which feels really kind of like maybe like exposed. I think that's what it is. But I love how this turned out. It's all in one take, and that little riff that goes at the end like this. It was the first time I had done it, and I was like, yeah, that's it. Like, I know this is good. We're gonna keep this take. And we actually recorded this one with a different mic to all the others. It's like this old vintagey mic, and I just love the sound of it. It's kind of like fuzzy and a bit shit, which me and Pete talked about a lot. That was sort of what we wanted. Like, I love when things are a bit off, when you can hear the room, where you can hear the creak and the slide of the guitar, and it feels like me. It feels like you're sitting and listening to a live recording and not listening to something that has been chopped and chipped and poured over for, you know, days and hours with lots of technology. Although there was lots of technology involved, don't get me wrong. We actually filmed the live take that we did of Super Memorial, so I'm going to put that out in a couple of weeks. It's so beautiful. I'm so proud of it. I love this song. I love my songwriting in it. And again, this was another song that I remember writing and immediately being like, I know this is really good. And that's the best feeling ever.
Means a less I know, like it's hard. You want to change the world and wake up.
Well, we have found ourselves at the end of the EP with, actually, I think is the first song I wrote out of all of them. This is like the oldest one, but it goes at the end. To me, this is a finale. It's a credits rolling. It's a coming of age. Like, I knew that summer that I was exactly where I was supposed to be moment. Do you know what I mean? So this song's called What. It used to be called What Like It's Hard, and I actually have a demo of it on my YouTube.
Wake up rested, shot in the dark, aim for the eyes.
And I wrote this song almost like a year and a half ago now, and played it for the first time at my first ever gig at Greenwich Theatre, which I do a monthly show there, so I've done lots of them. I had this zany idea that at the end of the song I was going to like hand out percussion and allow people to play along with me for the song, and then teach them the end. And we had this beautiful moment where everyone was singing along, and it was very lovely. And that song stayed in my set list ever since. It's another song about being in your early 20s. Specifically, I had this moment where I was like, oh no, I'm living at home. I don't really have the job that I want. I'm not really on a path anywhere. I'm not really doing anything exciting. My teenage self would think I was such a loser, and I had this real fear of that. So that's kind of what this song is about. There's this real feeling of like double standard in your 20s where half of you is like, I need to go be a career bitch and do 5,000 things and get on ladder after ladder, and the other half of you is like, it's time for the gym and wellness and looking after myself. And it's so hard to balance all of those things. In fact, not even hard, it's impossible. And I think I realized that as I was writing this. It's really like a letter to my teenage self to be like, please stop bullying me. I'm trying my best, but like it was much harder than I anticipated to be an adult. When we came to recording it, Rob told me that the song reminded him of Christian church camp, which is why we got rid of the ooze at the end that used to be there when I played it live. And it's not so percussion-y, but it's still got its own little bit of shaker and its drums and all of that stuff. I really wanted to end everything with voice notes. You know I love a voice note if you watch my last EP video. Bloody hell. I mean, last time I used voice notes to cover up my shoddy production. This time we're thinking we're going to be a bit reminiscent. We're going to be a bit nostalgic. All right. So my wonderful friend Harri sent me this very silly video of us on a night out in Manchester, and I just thought it was ridiculous. And Pete put it in the end of the recording along with the train sounds from Jubilee Lines, because we're being very circular and hoping people actually listen to this as a 6-track EP and not just singles, as is the way nowadays, but we shall see. I love this song. It's so fun. I actually really hate playing it live now because it feels so empty to play just on guitar. I have played it with a band and it's so much more fun. So here's, guys, we're gonna pray. I'm Jas Ratchford band gig 2026. Please God, it's what I want. And as I said, there's gonna be a cheeky little video with all our behind the scenes footage. It's so cute, and I can say that because I edited it myself. We have made it to the end of me unpacking my EP for you. I hope this was interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. I had such an incredible time making this EP. more than you can even imagine. I think because if you watch my last EP video, I'm really like down on myself about not doing things the right way. I'm constantly being like, I don't know how to produce, so I'm just making this up. I'm not a professional, you know, I'm apologizing a lot. And working with Pete was really magical because it just taught me that the only right way is to make something that sounds fucking good. And if you can do it in a way that's like more enjoyable for you, then you absolutely should. And that's exactly what we did. I want to say a massive thank you to Pete and Rob, obviously, but also my wonderful friend Harri, who did all of the filming that I've used for TikToks and videos and YouTube and all of this stuff. He also helped me name the EP Big Parade. We sat when we were in Kent and just like wrote a massive list of every name we could think of that could possibly sum up all of the songs, and Big Parade was absolutely my favorite. So thank you, Harri, for that. He's also one of my best friends and he's just fucking wonderful, so thank you to all of them. Other than that, my EP is out tomorrow. If you're Australian though, it might be out already, so g'day. Please go give it a listen. Let me know what you think, and if you have any more questions about the production and the making of everything, please let me know. It couldn't have been a more different experience to last time where it was me at my desk. There were more people involved and more money involved, and it was more stressful actually most of the way through, but also so much more worth it, and I'm so proud of what I've made. I also want to thank my patrons who have they're the best. I make a monthly demo on YouTube and I put the MP3 on Patreon, and I also do a kind of roundup of my month each month. So the Patreons have been hearing about all of this since January. It's just a lovely community, and I'm so grateful for their financial support as well. Like when I had to book out a rehearsal room for me and a band, I used my money from Patreon. Like without them, a lot of shit couldn't happen. So thank you so much, and also to all of you on YouTube, like thank you for listening to me and caring about me. And I really hope you love the new EP. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and if you have any more questions about anything. Also, I'm doing my first ever headline show on the 29th of November at Morocco Bound Bookshop in London Bridge. It's the sweetest venue ever. So if you like books and you like my music, please do come along, say hi, we can have a chat. I'm really excited to launch my EP there. And I think that's everything. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and see you next time. Goodbye.